I wrote this in like 20 minutes, and my parents were like, this is god awful. Please don't put this on the internet. And I did. Should I say, hey, this is Tate on Tate? This is Tate, and this is Tate on Tate.
Are you excited? Yeah, I'm really
Oh my god, so this is me and my mom walking to my Saving You Dance audition. I'm 12. This was so funny. I just remember filming for like 2 days here in Calgary and forcing my brother and my dad to be in these clips. This was such a crazy experience. I remember dropping out of middle school for this audition. Ended up doing like homeschooling at Saving You Dance. We would have to like do it at the TV show. And it was just a really crazy experience being on TV for 2.5 months and living in LA and live television. It was so scary. We learned it in like 8 hours over 2 days, and then we'd have to go on live television on Monday and like get judged. It was such a freaky process.
Stares at a ceiling once again with 100 thoughts.
Oh God.
Maybe he knows who I am.
This was, oh my God. This was my first ever YouTube video that I posted when I was 13. And my parents were sitting like maybe 5 feet away from me on the couch. And I wrote this in like 20 minutes. And my parents were like, this is god awful. Please don't put this on the internet. And I did. To them, it was like, what is this? Like I was playing my dinky little piano. It was a love story, and it was very dramatic. It was a very 13-year-old melodramatic thing that was happening. So I don't think they bought on quite yet. It went like kind of viral, and it blew up, and that's how I got signed. Was off that first video I ever posted. When I started this YouTube channel and just like saw how it grew so fast, that was one of the first times where I was like, felt like I had control over something, where I was like, okay, I have the ability to like grow something here and do something that I love. And I knew the formula. All I had to do was sit down on Thursday night, write a song, and post it on Friday. And it turned into this little challenge for me of being like, if I can do this every week and see what happens, this could be really exciting. And it was.
Maybe you don't like talking too much about yourself, but you should have told me.
So this music video was when the pandemic had just started. I made one of my ex-boyfriends filmed this in my car, and because that was the only person I could quarantine with, and he was driving the car, and we were on the rooftop of this random building that was closed, and we took 2 takes of this music video on VideoStar and then sent it into the label. And I was like, this is my music video. And then we didn't think it was going to be such a big song. Otherwise, I definitely would have put more effort into that music video. I had one idea too of me like crying in a shower, and I filmed that too, and it really didn't miss the mark a little bit for this song. So we chose this one instead. Okay, I love this performance. This was the Billboard Music Awards, my first performance of Greedy. And I remember having such a specific idea of like these 2 security guards standing like right in front of me for this first part. Yeah, that part right there. I was like 2 big scary guards, and I'm gonna open them up and I'm gonna start singing, and I'm gonna wear a blazer. And it was this whole idea in my head. I'm like, it's only gonna be dudes. And they're gonna be on me. I'm gonna be like, get off of me, and fight them off the whole time. And we're gonna travel through this space. And I was like, this is the first time that I wanna fully go for it. I'm like, dance breakdown. Sean Bankhead, who's unbelievable, went so crazy. And I was just like, I wanna dance here. I was like, I wanna do pop music. And it's so pop coded. I mean, it's like every reference and thing that I've been inspired by, like my whole childhood put into this. I think like the sparkly top and the ripping the blazer off and all the boys and the styling. That ending part is so funny. I go, Billboard! Dun, dun, dun. Such a funny little clip. It's like a meme in our camp. It's so funny.
My cold heart is finally melting. I move from the east to the west when I find.
Actually, we weren't going to do a music video for Revolving Door, which is so crazy now that I think about it. We didn't really have anything planned for album day. And then Erin Moreno, who's the director, came over to my place and she was like, we have to do something that just wraps up this whole album and channels everything that you want to talk about. And I think that was such a click moment for me in the album, was making this music video, because I've never danced like this in a music video before, and also the crying and the whole being stuck in this vague open space and having these girls come in and me do the combo like 3 times and it feels so repetitive and exhausting was such an important feeling for me to touch on in Revolving Door and in the album. And I feel like it really captured sometimes like the feeling of an artist and this perfection that you try to achieve that sometimes is just completely unattainable. That was really important, and I was so proud of that video, and Robbie Blue choreographed it, and it was such a fun day. Music videos to me are, I'm such a visual person, and aesthetic and colors and is what I see when I'm in the studio, and that's how music makes me feel, is just visuals. And so when I get to do a music video, it's such a difficult but exhilarating process when it gets right, because I feel like it made Revolving Door, for example, come to life for me and just tell that song a completely new story inside. Okay, this was the F1 premiere. This was in between my O2 show in London, and I had just finished 25 days on tour, 25 shows on tour. I was exhausted, and I'm surprised I looked alive at this premiere. I definitely did black out while meeting Brad Pitt. You're like on the carpet, there's so many people around, and it's such a overwhelming process, and then you're like, holy shit, Brad Pitt. Just like the cherry on top.